Good morning, happy Sunday morning. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine, live here with two projects this morning featuring the July 2020 Paper Pumpkin Kit, Summer Nights. So I did change up the kit just a little bit and added a couple of supplies from my stash. So I have two cards to share this morning. This is going to be card number 1. And this was kind of like my warm-up card, so I'm already going to change it for the live video because I played around a little bit more and wanted to make another tweak. So, and here is card number 2. So these are super cute. They're postcards. So I will say is that what I did is I took one's Night of Navy card base and one is on a thick Whisper White card base. So since they were postcards, I wanted to turn mine into full-size cards. But just to let you know, there is a card kit, add-on kit that you can buy from Stampin Up. So it's $10 and it does give you 20 pre-printed card bases with envelopes that coordinate. So that's a item available right now while supplies last. And I'm going to point the camera down, but this is kind of what the card kit Paper Pumpkin this month was to look like. So you get 3 different designs and there's 9 postcards and there's 9 little treat bags that are meant for like a tea light. And I'm not going to do anything with those today. I only picked 2 of the postcards to play with and make into 2 cards. But the bags, I will say they're very fragile, so I have one to show. So let's point the camera down and get started. Okay, so again, here are my cards, and I'm already going to change this one up slightly this morning. So I was playing around and decided I would change the label. So the postcards come pre-printed like this. So things I added on were the Night of Navy ink. In the kit, it comes with a Blackberry Bliss ink. But because I wanted to use the Night of Navy Twine and I knew I was going to use the Navy Fireflies, I thought the Navy ink would match up really nicely. And the postcards are 4 by 5 1/4, so they mat great onto a card base. And they have the corners rounded. So if you have the detailed trio punch, that could round your corners for you. So again, here are the cards as they were to be made in the kit. So Stampin' Up! Plans this like way far in advance. So this one was kind of almost like party invitations or party favors. And of course, I mean, I'm not throwing parties and having parties right now. So I had to kind of see what I could come up with this kit. But it really surprised me. These are the little bags for the tea lights. So it's very fragile, but it's a little bag that opens up. And you could stamp on the front. Obviously, you want to put a piece of cardstock or computer paper inside so you don't go over this. But there's some kind of cool fireworks stamp. There's kind of the little mason jar lantern type thing. There's some words. I'm actually just going to stamp with the words. I was planning on stamping with the little firefly stamp, but I found that these fireflies in the kit worked out great for what I wanted to do and wanted to accomplish. So you get these kind of fun lanterns, fireflies. I did not do anything with the Ferris wheel roller coaster thing, but you get all these die cuts that you can just pop right out. And then you get these really neat, nifty labels, 3 different kinds of labels. So, oh, and these pretty cool stars. They're kind of like jelly, sparkly stars. So there's the box that it came in. So there are 2 ways to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. And I am going to start with my Night of Navy card. So you can pay monthly and pay every month as you pay a month at a time. Or you can prepay, and I wanted to just point out that right now, if you prepaid for 3 months or more, you would actually earn a bonus days coupon. So right now through August 3rd, 2020, if you spend over $50 US before tax and shipping, you earn a $5 coupon to redeem between August 4th and August 31st. So the 3-month prepay subscription is, I believe it's $63. Oops, this one's already stamped on, so we don't want this one. I need to get another label really quick. This was the difference I had mentioned at the beginning, that this was my warm-up card and I used this label, and I actually think I want to change it to the larger one. So I had stamped one earlier, so I'm just going to put that one aside. So let's stamp the greeting. I'm using the large greeting. It says, "Oh, the summer nights are alight with everything magic and bright." So it's kind of whimsical and fun. I grew up as a kid that camped, so these totally reminded me of camping. We camped as a younger child in Connecticut, and then as an older child up in New Hampshire. So I'm kind of going to go towards the left side. When I used this smaller label, I kind of wanted to hang a lantern off the side, was kind of my idea. And so I popped out one of my kind of little Coastal Cabana lanterns. I'm using this postcard because it kind of reminds me of mountains. So it totally reminded me of camping. So I'm going to put the label down here, but I wanted to see if I could kind of like hang my lantern off the side. And I guess I didn't do so great on my stamping. It looks pretty crooked to me. So I'm going to flip it over and try again. I really need some more caffeine this morning. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So one thing is the kit came with some Night of Navy twine, but there was very little. It was meant to go on one of the cards to hang the lanterns, kind of like this. Put your twine and then hang the lanterns through. But I actually wanted to make mine into little bows. So I measured my twine and there was 23 inches. So in order to make 4 cards, I could only use 5 inches of twine. So here's my 5 inches of twine. Now I have a bow maker, which is a little 2 wooden dowels on this little contraption. So I kind of cheated, I'll say, and used my bow maker to tie these tiny bows. And I can't get my twine to go through. There we go. If you have the 4-inch piece, the other thing you could do is just kind of like knot it through. So I guess I'll show that too really quick. So there's my tiny 5-inch bow using the bow maker. Oh, I hope that was on camera. I guess I need to move my camera. Sorry. Hopefully you saw that. Here's my bow maker. So I just, well, all my bows are tied now. So hopefully you caught that. So I'm going to put my... I kind of want to hang this off the side, but I don't want it to interfere with my words so much. So I think that would actually work perfect. So I'm going to throw this on with a little bit of liquid glue. It is another summer scorcher here this weekend. It's so hot. We're inside in the air conditioning. We did go for about a 45-minute walk last night before supper. But man, today it's supposed to be hotter, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be even hotter. So we're right in the middle of the dog days of summer here. So I'm hoping where you are, you can, if it's hot, you can be in the AC. I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on here and kind of sort of try to hang it off the side. I was thinking twofold, because I was thinking I was a camper, and camping in a campground, you always had people that decorated their campsites with lanterns and things hanging off. And of course, camping, you always need your lantern, your Coleman lantern, to kind of get places in the dark. So that's not too bad, because my bow doesn't really too much interfere with my words. And let's see, I have those gold stars, and I added a gold star to my lantern. You can use your take your pick tool. I'm just using my fingers. These are pretty sticky, but wow. I keep seeing where I want to put it, but it's upside down when I want to put it down, so I guess I'm just going to throw it on here. And then, like I said, this one is ready to go to my Night of Navy card base. So the stamp set includes kind of like an invite thing. So if you were going to have a party and do invitations, you could use the other side for invitations. But like I said, we're not gathering and not having parties, so I don't have anything to invite anybody to at the present moment. So there's card number 1, and this was the original. So I just changed the label and used the larger one. So let's move on and do card number 2. This one was the first one I created, and in the stamp, there's a little firefly stamp, and I played around because I really wanted to get the fireflies in the little mason jar. So I popped out 5 fireflies, and I've got the mason jar. I did another little bow, and I'm going to come over and stamp the You Light Up My Life, and I want it to go towards the right side. So I've got the stamp. So I'm going to put a firefly on the left side. Whoops, there we go. And I had to come up with an idea of how to, these are all the same, by the way, so I have 5 identical fireflies in Night of Navy. I had to come up with a way I would get them glued on here. So one of the things is, let's just glue one right onto the label. And for that one, I kind of wanted him pointing upwards. So I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue and make sure his antenna is going up. I'm doing this upside down, so I think that's about right. And then I want room to put 5 inside my little mason jar. So I kind of had to get my placement first, but these aren't inside, right? These are on the outside. So I kind of wanted to get my placement, and then I kind of have to like put them inside. And I kind of feel like after you do one, you can kind of sort of figure out where to put the other one. Now, I'm just going to remove this. And what I want is I kind of want it to be whimsical. So these two are good. One's pointing up, one's pointing down. And these two are pretty good, actually. One's pointing up, one's pointing down. So now, if you can use a pen or a pencil. And what you could do is you could kind of sort of mark it. And I kind of want to put it over that dot. So there's a tip, is to kind of like mark where you want to glue it. So because that one's going down, I'm going to put this one up. And I have a little bit of wiggle room, so I can always like double check that they're gonna fit inside. So this one, I kind of want to put like right here. So I'm kind of eyeballing it, putting a little bit of liquid glue. I want this one to kind of go down. I have a minute or two to wiggle, but that looks good. So up here on the top, the reason I didn't stamp is because, of course, up here where it's darker, when I stamped in the Night of Navy ink, they were really hard to see. So that's why I went with the die cuts. So since that one's down, I'm going to put this one up and this one down. And hopefully they will kind of be inside my jar, and they are, so that's great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my label onto the jar. So I'm going to use mini glue dots because this is vellum, and I like to use glue dots onto vellum. So I'm going to put 3. 1, 2, 3. And then what I can do is now, since I have this over where I want it, I'm going to put 3 more glue dots on the back of the vellum on the jar. That way I know my adhesive won't show through. Okay, so I got my 3 glue dots on there. And presto. And then just to finish this off, I did the little bow like I had made earlier, the 5-inch little bow. And I'm going to put it up at the corner of my little mason jar with just a little bit of liquid glue. So put a dab of glue and then kind of hold it down for a second or two. And then for this one, since there was so much navy, I thought it would really pop on the white. So I have a thick Whisper White card base that I am going to stick it to. So those are my 2 cards for today. Like I said, you can pay monthly for Paper Pumpkin. You can subscribe at paperpumpkin.com. It's $22 a month, and the box comes right to your mailbox once a month. You have to sign up by the 10th of the month, so it usually comes somewhere around the 20th or so. And you can also prepay, and if you prepay right now through August 3rd, you'll earn a $5 bonus days if you prepaid for 3 months or more. And there is that add-on kit available. So I'm going to bring the camera back up to my face here. Sorry about that. There we go. So thanks for joining in this morning. And just to let you know, I do have a host code going through July 30th for regular orders of anything from my online store. So I will post that below, but it's UMQ9ZSK6. I'm going to actually post some of the measurements of some of the stuff, even though this was a kit and a lot of the stuff was pre-cut. I'll still put the sizes of things if you want to kind of recreate something like this. If you're playing with your July Paper Pumpkin kit this weekend or this week, I'd love to see what you come up with, and let me know and share on my Facebook page or my Facebook group, Create with Christine. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back next week with another creative project. Have a great day.